Hey guys, this one's one going up for sale here. Connex 4300 400 and four Toshiba 2879s in the amp section of this radio. And this radio is a dang powerhouse. A little bit of backstory on it. Belongs to a good friend of mine, a local friend. We do a ton of trading together. Buy stuff, sell stuff. I sell him stuff, buy it back, sell him, buy stuff from him, sell it back to him. Just a lot of equipment changes hands between us, and that's Materhead. Again, you guys probably heard him if you've listened to the live feeds. You guys have heard him talking there. He recently got a Longhorn, so he hasn't been using this one much, and I'm kind of surprised he sold it. One way I'm surprised because this has been like his baby forever. I mean, he's ran this radio for a long time and been like a staple of his setup. But on the other hand, I'm not really surprised because just knowing him, he'll sell anything he has. He don't get really attached to anything because he knows he can buy it, replace it with something else. So he never really gets attached. I mean, I've seen him sell his whole base, coax, tower, antenna, and everything, and then put something else up next week. So somebody wants something bad enough, he'll sell it. He just kind of hit me up out of the blue, want to do some trading on this radio, so I took him up on it before he could back out. I'm halfway tempted to keep it, but it'll be up for sale. You know, Connex 4300 400. You don't see a lot of them. Pretty rare radio. Is it perfect? No, it's not. I mean, it's a used radio, and he used this thing quite a bit. I mean, he ran it in the house, ran it in his truck. He's drove it into all kinds of large amps. Ran it by itself. I mean, it's a hell of a damn radio. I mean, it really is. So it's got some stuff added to it, some noise toys and stuff like that. The internal speaker does work. I just put an external on it so we could hear some of the added stuff to it a little bit better if we can keep our mic from squealing. So we'll talk back on right now. First thing I'm going to do, play this little Watergate on the back. It's got a blue switch on the back of it. I think is what you record the Watergate with, and then you play it with this one over here on the left. I'm kind of afraid to push the blue switch because I don't want to record over what's in there because it's kind of cool. So I want you guys to hear it because he used to run this radio in his truck, and the Watergate will kind of tell you how well his truck used to talk. So let me see if I can change hands here and play this and key up. Let's see. We got a noise toy turned on, so we screwed that up a little bit. Let's try again. So if you don't recognize that voice, that's Motormouth Mall, and he was obviously talking to him out of his truck. So kind of cool. I mean, yeah, there's thousands of people talk to Motormouth, but it's kind of cool that he got that on Watergate while he was running it out of his pickup. The noise toys, there's two switches in the back. Let's do this one on the left first. So Bad Boys on that one. And then the one on the right. And that sounds like the FSU fight song, so the Florida State Seminoles fight song there. So, you know, whether you like that stuff, whether you don't, it's in the radio. It's in the back of it here. There you guys go. You will need, if this radio does sell, whoever gets it, you will need this portion of the connector. I didn't get the quick disconnect for it. I'm sure he's probably using it for his Longhorn or something. So this is just my test one. So you'll have to get this half, or you know, obviously if you want to cut this off, you could, but probably just get the other half of that quick disconnect there. Okay, before I show you guys what this thing's doing, I want to show you what it's capable of doing, how much current it's capable of drawing. That way, when you start seeing the power numbers out of this thing, you're not really blown away by it. We'll turn our mic gain back a little bit. I had it turned up so we could hear the noise toys and stuff better, but 14.8 volts is what we're at. Now, I've got the RF power wide open. Audio. 62, 64 amps. So you guys already know this thing's going to do a ton of power. It's either going to do a lot of average or a lot of average and peak. This is with the RF power all the way down. Audio. 49 amps, 47 amps. So what does that translate over here? Turn that talk back off. We already verified the echo and talkback's working. What does that translate over here to over here? All the way down, 1,000 watt slug, average power. So it keys basically nothing. Audio, 350 average. All the way up, 120 watt dead key. Hello. 500 average. Hello. Audio. Jeez Louise. Thing's getting with it. So 500 average all the way up. Now we'll turn the RF power halfway down. Hello. Hell, I think it did a little more. A little bit over 500. Now it's not going to do 1,000, 1,200 watts PEP. I'd be shocked if it did. It's probably just the way they've got it tuned, doing a lot of average power. This is at 9 o'clock. Audio, audio. 400, 500 average. So what does it do? PEP. Well, audio, 1, 2, 3. Audio, 700. So 700 PEP, 500 average. That's what I always say. Average power isn't really an exact science. A lot of radios and stuff, they'll do about 2.5 times. The peak will be about 2.5 times the average or 2 times the average, but it's not exact. You'll get a radio like this that's been tuned a certain way, set up a certain way, and it's doing, you know, a lot more average power than what you would probably expect. He noticed that when he had this radio, like his Longhorn does around 300, 350. And he said when he was driving this radio, he's got a 24 pill as well, and he would tell you that. That's not anything top secret. When he would drive this into his 24 pill, he would get about 2,000 to 2,100 average on a bird meter. And when he drove his Longhorn into it, he would get like 1,800 to 1,900 average. So the difference is this radio does a good bit more average power than what his Longhorn does. And the Longhorn does a little bit more PEP. So Longhorn does 800 or so PEP. This one does 700 PEP. But it works. I mean, nothing bad to say about it. Show you that it receives here. There you guys go. There's the receive. External speaker also works. Like I said, I just had this, or internal speaker works. I just had this external hooked up to, so you can hear stuff a little better. Audio, 1. Audio, 1, 1, 2, audio. So there's the internal speaker. But that's it, guys. I'll put it up for sale. Like I said, there's not a lot of these floating around. Kind of a rare radio. And, you know, whether it sells or don't, I'll leave it up there. Tempted to keep it because it was his, but it is what it is. I'm kind of like him. I don't get attached to a whole lot. There's probably 5 or 10 pieces of radio equipment I have that I won't sell, and everything else. When you're in the radio business, you can't really find yourself getting attached to stuff, because if that was the case, I'd have like 200 radios here. So, all right, everybody have a good one out there. Questions, comments, shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Connex 4300 400, the old Materhead special. All right, everybody, have a good one. Rooster in Tennessee. See you, bye.